Next, the MythBusters get the jump on Hollywood.
What are you looking so excited about?
All right, we are testing a Hollywood movie myth dealing with explosions.
Great. What is it?
All right, so this comes from a classic action movie where the hero is running from an explosive, and just before it detonates, he jumps with all of his might, and, well, you probably know what happens.
I know, just as he's mid-air, the blast goes off, and the resulting shockwave actually pushes him through the air, giving him a superhuman jump.
Exactly, but is that true? Can a shockwave from an explosion actually push you further than you can jump on your own? Cool.
It's a bombastic scene straight from the blockbusters. Escaping an imminent explosion, the hero leaps into the air. And the force of the blast gives them a superhuman boost. But are these filmic physics bang on? Or is this a mission implausible?
All right, so obviously we're gonna need a human stand, and I'm not exactly comfortable with any of us getting exposed to a shockwave.
Well, sounds like a job for Buster. I think the first order of business is to rig him so he can jump.
All right, well, why don't you figure out a way to get him to jump, and while you're working on that, you and I can find out how far he should jump.
So hit the track for a little data collection, maybe check out some jump distances, hang time.
Exactly, little jump and fact-finding missions.
So to jumpstart the myth, Kari and Tory need to find out the average distance and hang time of a regular long jump.
Get in strong. Ready to go jump?
Absolutely.
We've come to the track at the College of San Mateo to test the myth that the shockwave from a bomb can actually extend your jump.
Now, there is no way we're gonna be jumping anywhere near an explosion, but Buster needs to do it. So we need to get a benchmark on how far he needs to jump. So we're here to get some expert training from champion long jumper, Joy Upshaw. She's good, real good.
She is. But first, Joy needs to put a spring in their step with a warm-up.
I'm beyond warm, I think I'm hot now.
Before they're ready for parameter number 1, how far the average Joe can leap.
All right, let's see you do it.
Joy demonstrates exactly how it's done. And she makes it look easy.
Wow.
Then it's over to the first contender.
All right, Kari, this is your long jump. You get 3 attempts, and then we're gonna average all 3. Are you ready?
Yes, here we go.
All right, Kari, get those legs up.
Kari gets a run-up and then leaps for all her worth.
Oh my God, I think we've just seen a new world record.
I think I got 9 feet with my new technique.
That looked painful.
Painful?
I mean graceful.
Graceful.
Well, with 2 more jumps, Kari's form improves, and so does her distance.
Kari, you went 10 feet. You've increased your distance.
Right.
Kari has just finished all 3 of her jumps, and she came away with a 9.5 feet average. That is incredible, considering the fact that she's not that athletic, she's very uncoordinated, and she has a bum knee. It's my turn next.
It's not a competition, Tory. It's about data collection and setting the average Joe leaping benchmark.
All right, time to get in the zone.
Is he putting on a headband?
Yes, he is.
All right, I'm in the zone.
Balachi takes his run-up,
Run, run, run.
and he really goes the distance.
Oh, I got sand in my pants.
Whoa, that was about 16 feet.
Do it remind you of Michael Jordan, all that air?
2 more jumps.
Yeah.
And the data on distance is in.
All right, your average is 16 feet, mine is 9.5.
Good job, you guys.
All right, well, why don't we look at the high speed and see how much hang time we're actually getting.
Yep, just as important as the average distance is the average hang time of the jumps.
You know, after looking at the high speed, I have to say I've never seen form quite like yours, Kari.
But look, you got in the air, got some height there.
That's form.
But the hang time isn't looking good. Even with Tory airborne for 0.5 of a second, getting the timing right in full scale is going to be tough.
You know, between the 2 of us, we're talking about an average of 12 feet and only half a second in the air.
Yeah, you know what? That is not going to give us much time to get Buster in the air and then halfway through the jump set off an explosion.
Half a second is not enough time to combine both the jump and the blast. But Kari may have a solution.
Now, we did come out here to find out what the average long jump would be from an average person. And between Tory and I, our average is about 12 feet. When you look at that on the high speed, that's not even half a second of hang time. That's a very small window to actually trigger everything that needs to happen, the jump and the bomb. So I think we might have to go with something that gives us more hang time. Maybe a Olympic world record or something like that. Something with like, oh, I don't know, double the hang time of what we can get.
Doubling their hang time is crucial. After all, in this myth, the hero is leaping for their life, making this an extraordinary jump.
I think I'm gonna be sore tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Who knew it was gonna hurt this bad? Hey, thanks, Joy, for your help.
See ya. Oh, God.
In this explosive surf's up myth, a hero leaps at the last second, and supposedly by catching the shockwave, his jump is amped up to the superhuman. After Athletics 101,
How do you do it?
it seems the hang time duration of an ordinary jump is not long enough for a blast. So they're turning to the extraordinary.
Now for this test, we're going for world record territory. In a long jump, that's approximately 25 feet for women and 29 feet for men. That should give us about a second of hang time. That'll make it a little bit easier for Buster to still be in mid-air after we launch him for us to set off the bomb. That means that we have a benchmark for at least 25 feet for Buster.
But Buster isn't an elite long jumper, so he's going to need a boost.
Since Buster can't jump on his own, we need to help him by giving him both upward and forward momentum. And to do that, we're gonna use this nitrogen cannon.
And if it looks familiar, that's because it is.
You may recognize the nitrogen cannon from its original myth, which was the Batmobile. You may also recognize this from Knock Your Socks Off. But you know who remembers this cannon the most? Our neighbors. Roll that tape.
I just wanted to let you know we had a little accident in the shop. I punched a small hole through the wall.
Since the cannon will ultimately be just a hop, skip, and a jump from an explosion,
It'd have to be so heavy.
for its own protection, it gets a full metal jacket.
There it is.
It's beautiful.
Hello.
Cannon in a box.
Then Tory turns his attention to Buster, fitting him with a strategically placed rod that will launch him at the perfect angle from the cannon.
Oh! Landed it.
With the rig set,
Sometimes you just need a cape.
will Jumpin' Jack Flash's leap match the professional jump distance and hang time that they need? Grant charges Nitro to 1,500 PSI,
All right, ready for the Naked Avenger.
and Buster is ready for jump-off.
3, 2, 1.
He flies through the air without a care in the world. All right, let's see how far he went.
At 32 feet, Buster's rear boost was a little too energetic.
He actually smashed into the top of the shelving.
So they dial Nitro back for launch number 2.
All right, here we go. 1,000 PSI. 3, 2, 1.
I think that's it.
Cool.
This time, at around 60% of the PSI, Buster flew 25 feet, within the professional range they were looking for. And the high speed confirms a 1-second hang time.
All right, well, that was a near perfect flight.
But for due diligence, they try multiple jumps. And each time, the Nitro Cannon gets them the perfect combination of distance and hang time.
So setting the air cannon at 1,000 PSI is giving us a consistent jump, sending Buster 25 feet. That's good enough for an elite jumper. That's good enough for an action hero.
And it's good enough to bring on the booms.
Okay, so now we've got Buster rigged so he can jump with the distance and hang time of an Olympic athlete. What's next?
I think maybe we should set Buster about 50 feet away from the blast, just like you would see in any typical action movie.
Sounds like a solid distance.
And then when he's halfway through his jump, we set off the explosion and see if the shockwave will push him any further than if he could jump on his own power.
Cool, but I've got one addition. You know in the movies how they use all different types of explosives, different sizes of blasts? Why don't we do multiple blasts and increase the explosive each time depending on the result?
I'm not gonna argue with that.
Me neither.
That's the plan. And to begin the Blockbuster Blitz, where better than Angels Camp Quarry,
This is the best location.
the home of some of the biggest bangs in MythBusters history.
So curious to see if this actually works.
Leaping dummies and explosions. I mean, I can't think of anything better.
It's a bombastic combo. But before Buster gets a leaping, Tori needs to make the Earth's move.
Couple more digs and we're there.
Since the nitro cannon will be boosting Buster from ground level, it needs to get down and dirty.
Perfect!
Perfect and protected from the explosive action. But to time the jump and blast just right, Nitro is going to need a very tricky trigger.
Now this right here is the trigger for the cannon. When Frank initiates the blast, it's going to come down a line of shock tube and split in two directions. The first one's going to come over here, that hits this switch, that fires the cannon. The other side of that goes over to the explosive through a delay cap that's going to delay it half a second to let Buster get to the top of his arc before it fires off the explosion.
Once the trigger is taken care of, enter the stand-in action hero.
He's on. And he's standing. Proud. Wait, why are we dressing him like a commando?
And with Buster in position, the first order of business is to check the timing on Grant's trigger
Okay, we're at 1,000 PSI.
and find out how far Buster jumps without explosives.
Good luck, buddy. Think action hero.
In 3, 2, 1.
That looked great.
Hilarious.
So far, so good. Just like the shock test, the cannon sent Buster flying.
Measure from his hips like the long jump?
But how far?
How far did he go?
27 feet.
At altitude, the cannon gives Buster a little more boost, setting the control at 27 feet. But what about the timing?
So our timing system worked out, which is great news because this experiment is all about timing. As you can see from the high speed, he goes up and the explosive goes off right at the top of his arc. So now it's time for us to load up 10 pounds of C4 and see if our commando buddy can beat 27 feet.
Yep, it's time to add the explosives to the mix. So how's it all gonna go down?
Right here we have the seat of the explosion. We're going to gradually increase the amount of explosives we use. Now over here, we have our commandos on our nitrogen cannon launcher. Now what's gonna happen here is we're gonna launch him up into the air. When he's at about a half second of hang time, we're gonna blast off the explosion.
That's the plan. So it's over to explosives expert Frank to wire up the C4,
Keep that business end pointed away from you.
Okay.
while Grant primes the trigger and the cannon.
Nitrogen is loaded.
This is it, the moment of truth for the myth.
Special delivery.
Will the shockwave from 10 pounds of C4 extend Buster's jump?
Here comes the firing line.
Well, Tori has his doubts.
So my guess is when Buster jumps and the explosion goes off in the middle of his jump, he's only going to go as far as he was jumping. The shockwave is going to do nothing for his distance.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Safely back in the bunker, 1,000 feet away from launch.
I never get tired of this.
All right, arming.
It's time to count backwards from 3.
In 3,
2, 1, fire.
Wow, that happened so fast. Yeah. We're going to have to look at the high speed to see exactly what happened, but I don't know.
Well, it's clear from the high speed that Buster's jump peaked as the shockwave reached him. But did he fly further than 27 feet?
All right, what do you got?
27 feet.
So that's a negative on C4.
That's a negative on the C4. But when it comes to myth busting, well, one boom is never enough.
You can definitely feel that thud.
It's a myth ripped straight from the big screen. Our hero runs from an explosion and at the last second jumps, supposedly surfing the shockwave for a superhuman spring. And despite exploding 10 pounds of C4, 50 feet from Buster, there's been no shockwave surfing. Well, not yet.
For our first experiment, we used 10 pounds of C4. We did see the wave propagate through Buster just as he hit the peak of his jump, exactly where it should have been, though it did not change the trajectory of the jump nor the distance that he jumped. So now we're moving on to a low-velocity explosive, ANFO. This should be really interesting.
C4 is a high brisance explosive. It delivers a rapid shock impulse and shatters objects in close proximity. However, ANFO is a low brisance explosive, meaning that it will heave and throw objects. But does that mean that it can heave and throw our commando? Unfortunately for Buster, he's about to find out.
All right, that's 10 pounds of low-velocity explosive ANFO. Here we go.
And even though an ominous fog rolls in, nothing is going to get in the way of finding out if 10 pounds of ANFO will make Buster go the extra distance.
All right, this is 10 pounds of ANFO. Let's see if he rides that shockwave.
In 3, 2, 1, fire!
You can definitely feel that thud. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
The ANFO definitely packed a punch, and the shockwave is clear to see. But did Buster hitch a ride?
All right, what do we get?
27 feet.
That's it? So he didn't go any farther.
It's the same result again. Despite changing explosive, Buster didn't surf the shockwave.
So far, everything we've tried has failed. That's 10 pounds of ANFO, 10 pounds of C4. Neither one has moved him any further than no explosive at all. So next up, we're going to more than double that to 25 pounds. Now, my personal feeling, it's not going to make a difference. I think we're going to need a lot more explosive than that.
Grant's skeptical, but with more than double the ANFO, there's more than double the jeopardy. At least there is for Tory.
The ANFO's in place. The air cannon is loaded. We're about to find out. The shockwave from an explosion can cause an action hero to fly farther than he can jump.
Okay, here we go with 25 pounds of ANFO. Arming. Add in 3, 2, 1, fire.
Whoa! That was a healthy shockwave.
Do you think he jumped further?
I don't know. Let's check the high speed.
That felt good.
Doubling up on the ANFO certainly doubled the thud. But did it pick up Buster along the way?
Okay, and we have 27 again.
So he hasn't moved at all.
Nope.
25 pounds of ANFO and still 27 feet. But as the MythBusters saying goes, it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing with 100 pounds of ANFO.
So far, we have thoroughly tested this myth. We have an action hero jumping 50 feet away from an explosion. Our timing has been perfect. We started off with 10 pounds of C4, moved on to 10 pounds of ANFO, then ramped it up to 25 pounds, but still, the shockwave was not enough to push him forward. Now, we're gonna move on to 100 pounds.
4 times the explosive might sound like overkill, but this is a boom or bust test.
So far, we haven't actually seen any extra jump distance. I'm not so sure we're gonna see any with this either. But I'm still crossing my fingers.
Kari's fingers are crossed, and Tory, well, he's not prepared to give up on the Hollywood legend just yet.
Now, do I think it's gonna make our action hero go farther? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's the kid in me that wants to believe in all these action hero movies that I grew up on. I say yes. I think it's gonna send him a little bit farther.
With a hefty pile of ANFO about to go boom, and the cannon primed, maybe this is what it will take for Buster to hang 10.
Somebody order an explosion?
All right, 100 pounds of ANFO. Will it send the action hero flying, or will he fall flat on his face?
Everybody ready? Okay, here we go. Arming. And in 3, 2, 1, fire.
Dang, that was a big blast. Well,
Nice desk clap.
Yeah.
I can't even see him.
All right, let's use the dust cloud clears. Maybe we can see if he went any further.
100 pounds of ANFO had the MythBusters jumping out of their skin. But did that impressive shockwave send Buster surfing?
We're looking at the same 27 feet. 100 pounds of ANFO and he didn't move at all.
27 feet again. I so wanted this to work. I don't know, maybe it's just watching too many action films, but I really wanted this one to happen.
Well, I guess we got no choice but to call this one busted. You can't surf a shockwave.
All right, so this myth is totally busted.
Yeah, but it's got me wondering, do you think there's any way to surf a shockwave?
I don't know. What if we were able to increase your surface area by a huge amount? Maybe having that much more surface area, you might catch the shockwave and push you a little bit further.
So maybe we build something to attach to Buster to act as a shockwave catcher.
Exactly, and I know just what to build it out of.
For his shockwave enhancer, Tory's turning to a combination of the familiar and the bizarre. A steel frame and a blanket?
Now you're probably asking yourself, wait a minute, the blanket is not gonna withstand the blast, and you're right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spray it with bed liner, because as you remember, bed liner is blast proof.
After a quick spray of bed liner to harden it up, the team is back at the quarry
Giant kite, huh?
We'll see, it's like a big sail.
to give Buster his bomb-proof blanket
That is gorgeous. Let's see if he flies.
for a control test.
In 3, 2, 1, fire.
Perfect.
The heavier rig has Buster flying a slightly shorter 23 feet. But will the explosion fling him further?
This is it, the final experiment to see if a man can ride a shockwave. Everything's staying the same. We're using 100 pounds of ANFO. The explosion is gonna be 50 feet away from the jumping man, and he is gonna jump a half second before the explosion goes off. The only thing that is changing is we are strapping a sail to his back. That added surface area might give us the edge we need to get him to jump further. Let's see if that works.
All will be revealed, but Grant still thinks it could be a long shot.
Okay, so here's the thing. The reason why I think Buster hasn't jumped much further so far is because while the shockwave moves very quickly, it only moves a relatively small amount of air, a layer perhaps 12 inches thick. And that's not enough force to push him any further. Now this rig has the advantage of having a lot of surface area to catch a shockwave, but unfortunately, it adds a lot of weight. And so the net result, I think, is that he's not gonna go much further.
Well, with 100 pounds of ANFO set to detonate, will that extra surface area finally get Buster surfing the shockwave?
All right, this is the final experiment for riding a shockwave, this time with the sail. In 3, 2, 1, firing. Wow, I never get tired of that.
I can't tell what happened.
The cannon triggered. The ANFO went off, and it seems as though the shockwave did in fact give Buster a boost. But did he travel any further?
5 feet,
I can't wait to see if it worked.
10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet, 23 feet.
What? He didn't go any further at all. That was the same as the control test.
Okay, we gave it everything we got. And we still didn't get that Hollywood-style jump and then just blow up.
All right, well, I guess it's busted. I'm a little disappointed in Hollywood.
All right, busted.
Busted. Again. And that was so cool to watch him jump through the air and the explosion going off.
Yeah, you know what? Being an action hero is a tough job.